Today's video, Denmark's forest kindergartens.
We are Lisa and Greg, an American couple living abroad in Spain. If you are curious about the crazy, funny, and surprising differences between the US and Europe, you came to the right place. We are on our way to 20,000 subscribers, and we're going to get there. But you might as well come along for the ride. So hit the subscribe button so you can do that. This is SBS Dateline.
Oh, Dateline.
And yeah, it's SBS Dateline. And Lisa will include a link in the description so you can go and show them some love. This one was just a recommendation.
We have no idea what this is about.
Yeah.
Someone said we should watch it, and Greg put it on the list, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, and usually when we go through, we tried our best not to watch these. We watched like maybe a total of like 10 seconds, and it looked like it was something interesting, and they recommended it. So here we go. We don't know what's going to happen.
Nope.
All right, so let's see.
Let's find out. Something going on in Denmark, though.
Something's going on in Denmark, and make sure got everything in ballet. Okay.
Hey. Or do they?
Up there. Up there. Oh my God.
That kid had a knife.
Did he really?
Up there.
Yeah.
Up there.
Oh,
my
that.
God.
Yeah.
God, they're gonna freeze out here in the forest.
I was very worried about the water.
Oh,
Once
understandable.
in a while, there's a child. I'm freezing.
What did you think when you came from England and you first saw kids playing like this?
It freaked me out.
I'm gonna say something though. We grew up on a ranch. We didn't have as tall where that kid was up on that tree. That was high.
Yeah. That's
But we
high.
used to climb trees all the time.
We did all
used
kinds of
to-
stuff.
Yeah, when in the 80s we did all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So many. I mean, that's what's the joke about the Gen X.
Mm-hmm.
That we did so many crazy things. Our parents have no idea.
Yeah.
We played near water. We played in the water.
That's true.
We climbed trees. Never that high.
I grew up in Vegas, well, LA and Vegas, and I know in Vegas we would wake up in the morning and just go. We call it desert walking.
Yeah, you'd
'Cause
be
we'd
gone
just
for
go walk
hours.
out in the desert all day.
Yeah. And we would do all kinds of crazy things that parents had no idea. I mean, at
That's
least
true.
they're
That's true.
supervised.
That's true. Okay, thank you for giving me some perspective because I was like, what the hell's wrong with these kids? But okay.
But and we were, that's why we're known as a pretty tough generation because we just had a lot of life experiences and we all survived, and and now it's like how the hell are we all here?
Yeah, we used to eat mud pies and drink out of water hoses.
Yeah, that's the funny thing that video says.
You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
This is probably a serious show. We're all,
You think?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Okay.
Kids going wild.
Oh, okay. I was like, where are we?
Denmark.
Skype. It was quite pretty.
4-year-old Nicola Towns is joining her kindergarten friends in the forest. But they're not on an excursion. This forest is their kindergarten.
Se, her er små troldøer. Her er også trolde oppe i den her skov.
Trolls.
Troldene har taget deres ører af.
It's freezing today, only 5 degrees.
Oh my God.
But even when it's raining, snowing, or minus 20 degrees, you'll find these children playing and learning outside.
Den der kravler der.
That's great.
En tusindben.
Så her bor de inde under om vinteren. Så sådan passer insekter på dem selv. De kan bo inde under barken.
It might sound extreme, but it's not unusual in Denmark, where 10% of the preschools, about 500 of them, are forest kindergartens.
Oh, wow.
They're run by pedagogues like Johan Leigård, someone with a university degree in human development.
Nej, hvad gør vi så? Hopper I bare ned her, eller hvad? I løber bare.
The thing that's so great is this is going to change these kids' lives. Like they're going to remember this forever.
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be like a highlight. For them.
I was just thinking when our boys, because we have 2 boys, their highlight is that we didn't overparent them like that. We didn't helicopter. We weren't panicky parents.
Right.
We were young. We were really young. We were in our 20s, early 30s or whatever when they were young. Yeah. And they would do all kinds of things. I remember they would climb these big gigantic rocks. Yeah. And we were all together and they would be standing at the edge of the rock and they would start climbing down and we would just be looking at them and all I would say is be careful. Yeah. And I don't know, we just, as paranoid as I am now, or as much as I worry, I'm surprised I allowed them to do so many things, but I did. Yeah. And it's one of they talk about how they're so thankful that we did.
Well, we just wanted them to learn. So, if they fell, I figured they wouldn't fall again because it was like they would know, okay, better not do that.
Yeah, we never stopped them. They go out in like small little areas to walk and they would either fall in the, if they fell into the water and, you hope for the best.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think this is great.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
You have a lot of visitors come from overseas to see how you do things here. How do they react?
They are thinking, what are we doing? And when do you learn to go to school? And why there is no fence? And wow.
This is amazing.
I think it's great
for young children to learn what it is to maybe be cold, what it is to be wet, and survive that.
Aww.
My name's Jane Sigfridson. I came to Denmark over 20 years ago.
Let's hear her name again.
My name's Jane William Sigfridson. I came to Denmark over 20 years ago and was amazed at the outdoor things that young children were doing, and I now live and work here.
Jane's the author of a book on forest education in Denmark. She's brought me to a forest kindergarten near her home outside of Viborg.
He's in the tree and it's only a very thin sapling tree. It's very, very wobbly. It takes an awful lot of balance to sit in that and use both hands at the same time.
Right.
In an ordinary playground, they wouldn't have the opportunities to develop those physical skills.
That's true. They develop physical skills. They develop problem solving. They develop all things that they're going to use in their life. Because, you have to solve a problem to be able to, how can I sit up here without falling?
That's true.
And hurting myself,
And you heard them about their imagination. It just expands when you're out there like that.
Right.
Like we used to, when we were up in the tree, we would imagine like we had a house up there and it was just like, or that there were lions down at the bottom trying to get us and all kinds of stuff. It's just,
that's true.
Yeah.
Jane runs outdoor education workshops for teachers and carers from around the world, including Australia. While we've been talking, the kids have moved on to their next activity.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this is different.
Are you going to tell me this isn't as...
I mean, why? Let's see.
Let's see. Okay.
Are you going to tell me this isn't as dangerous as it looks?
No, it's not dangerous. The children have learned how to use the knives properly. So it's not seen as some kind of weapon. It's a tool for doing something, such as whittling.
Just got to teach them.
I think many cultures like to wrap their children up in cotton wool. I don't think that's about a lack of love here for children by their parents. They see it in a different way. That in fact, children should have the chance to be free.
I mean, this is how our ancestors did it.
Yeah.
Like the American Indians and just anyone, ancestors, they all did it. The children weren't coddled.
Yeah.
Children weren't like, ooh, no, we can't do that.
I can say that I see this in Spain. Like I see kids doing stuff in Spain where it's like that's one of the things we like is that they let them be kids no matter where they are. I mean, it's pretty impressive some of the things that we see kids doing, standing up on stuff. You're like, whoa, that's like super high. I don't know why they're up there. But I understand. It's like when they learn how to use these tools, as she calls them, like it teaches them to respect that.
Yeah.
What you should not use it for, teaching them a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and you teach, just like how we know how to use a knife. And sometimes we learn the hard way.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes we're not, we learn that, oh crap, I didn't focus.
Yeah.
And because I didn't focus, I accidentally cut my finger. And stuff like that. So you learn to be present. It's
hard though, because I could see, just playing devil's advocate here, I could see somebody saying that there's probably somebody who might say, but they're kids. Like they shouldn't have a knife, I'm not saying I'd say that, but I'm just saying.
I'm sure there's some people who feel that way.
Yeah.
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 It's so great. Big ground like that. Now this kid.
So what's your approach to safety here?
You have to use your brain, and if you trust that the kids, they can take care of themselves.
Matty, are you afraid of anything? I was watching this boy climb to the very top of the tree, other boys hitting the log with the stick very close to each other. I couldn't see you or anyone else.
I was standing up there and I saw it too.
You saw it?
Yes.
You weren't worried?
No. That's a part of the play almost every day. And they learn to be careful.
He was keeping an eye on them though.
Yeah.
Sometimes they hit, yes, they got a little accident. But that's the way to learn.
Yeah.
Only once I have to drive to the hospital with a boy with a big injury in 17 years. So I'm not worried.
And what was the injury?
It was a parent who drove over a foot of a kid.
Oh,
okay.
Wow.
That's modern stuff.
Yeah. It probably wasn't even the kid's fault. It's probably the parent.
Right.
Godt, der kommer en pind. Det er godt, Nicholas. Der er en pind bagved dig nu, siger de.
The world's first forest kindergartens were founded in Scandinavia in the early 50s. Today they're also popular in Germany, Austria and Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
Some locations are more challenging than others. Johann's kindergarten sits less than 100 metres from a fjord, but there aren't any fences because they're not needed.
Why do you stop here, Carl?
Fordi her må vi ikke gå. Man skal have en pædagog med deroppe fra, inden man går over.
Pedagogue, I guess maybe that's a teacher.
That's like that guy, that other guy that was talking. The adult.
Yeah. Okay. So he said
called.
you need to have a pedagogue from up there before you go across.
So it looked like it was a little street.
Yeah.
So that was just their
road.
barrier, and they're being so good.
Man
Yeah.
skal have en pædagog med deroppe fra, inden man går over.
Oh.
I think one of the big things that I see here is the amount of trust that there is in Denmark.
Yeah.
That there is no formal inspection of kindergartens. There's no one that comes round and checks up that you're doing what you should be doing.
No parents coming over.
That's interesting that was her perspective on trust, because what I was thinking was the trust they have in the kids. And I think that's cool because that, like, can you imagine the confidence that gives the kids? And, because I'm sure they look up to the adults.
It's huge.
And it's like they have these adults who trust me.
That is so
as
big.
opposed to not letting them grow and develop and, don't throw that rock, don't do this, don't do that. But it just lets them be.
Right.
And figure out
They're
who they are.
They're not constantly hearing, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
wow,
great.
that's super interesting.
But how easy is it for parents like Nicola's mother Nadia to trust the pedagogues and their own kids?
I know my sisters, so they can run down to the water. I was like, yeah, but they don't do that. They know where they're allowed to go to. They don't
You trust them. Do you think a lot of it's based on trust?
A lot.
Yeah, but I must say I'm happy that I'm not down here during the day, because I'm a bit worried when Emil crawls into the top of a tree.
So you're happy that you can't see it?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, it's worry. Parent worry.
At Nadia's house, I meet her husband, Paul. He's English. Danish forest kindergartens came as a big culture shock.
In England, kids can be harmed in any way, falling out of a tree or something like that. Then they won't allow it.
There are just a handful of forest kindergartens in the UK. The US only opened its first in 2007. Australia 5 years ago.
What do you think it is about Denmark that they can get away with that, but they can't in England?
It's hard to explain. I really don't know what it is about the Danes. It's just a very relaxed frame of mind they've got about things, everything.
Oh, wow.
One of the main reasons Nadia and Paul have sent both Nicola and her 6-year-old sister Jessica to a forest kindergarten is their fear that the virtual world is distracting the girls from the natural one.
As soon as they come home, all they want to do is play the iPad. That's what they want to do. Well, that worries us that they'll do that. So we try to encourage them to go outside and play more.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. We didn't have to worry about that because the boys...
We didn't have to worry about that.
The internet was a lie. It was there.
For our kids?
For our kids, but it wasn't readily available. There were no smartphones yet. Not really. Were there? We had like Blackberries.
I think by the time, maybe not at this age, but I think by the time the kid, like by the time...
They got to like 14 or so? 10, 11, 12?
No, I feel like 4th or 5th grade.
Oh.
Yeah. So they were young. I remember that was a thing that we had to try and battle. But for us, there was no cell phones.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, for us there was no cell phone.
Yeah, for us it wasn't like.
But I think that's why our boys got to enjoy their childhood and we just because they didn't have all that.
That's true.
That's
true. Even though they had it, I mean, what was fun for them was that we lived by a creek.
Yeah.
And so they would just go there.
Oh my God. We don't even know. They later told us they started fires down there. All these things we didn't know until later on and they tell us.
Yeah, we didn't know.
But ultimately we trusted them.
Yeah, we trusted them.
And then just like these people have to trust their kids.
We trusted them. And our youngest told us he was driving our car when he was 11. So we're like, oh, okay, great. So
he used to he would make sure he would look to see how we parked the car and try to get it exactly like that. Yeah. Try to put the keys exactly how we had it. But when we went to bed, he went driving the car at 11.
He's here. He's with us. He's alive.
A good kid. He's a good kid.
It's good. The car never got crashed.
No.
And he wanted to be a Formula One driver. So there you go.
He's actually a really, really good driver.
Yeah. So there you go. Okay. Well, he's probably going to be mad at us.
He's our editor.
Yeah.
Surely not everyone's convinced about the value of an outdoor education. This is Jessica's primary school. I've come here because I thought the teachers might be concerned at how kids from a forest kindergarten struggle to adapt in the classroom.
Do you notice any difference between her and the kids who've come from normal kindergartens?
Not at all. They are all prepared to go to school. My own son went to forest kindergarten.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you never had any worries about how he would go at school with
no,
our children?
Not at all.
What do you think about the idea that the children should be using their time in kindergarten to start to learn some reading, some writing, some maths, to get ready for school?
I think this is work spoiled because they are not ready. You have to learn them to be interested.
I mean, you can't give a little kindergarten kid flashcards and stuff.
I mean, you can't. I mean, in the U.S., they
crazy.
Do. They prepare them school. We even have preschool.
Yeah.
Where it's you actually do some letters and numbers and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that's true.
But
yeah,
and some of that, when our boys were little, I would just show them stuff at home.
Right.
So I'm sure the parents are.
Yeah.
Not every household, I'm sure, but
yeah, that's true.
They learn from home too.
Right.
Spoiled because they are not ready. You have to learn them to be interested in learning.
Over the last 20 years, the number of outdoor kindergartens in Denmark has roughly doubled.
Oh, wow.
And now the forest gospel is spreading. Even schools are looking to take the class outdoors.
Now there's a lot of research been done that shows that children are less stressed, that children concentrate more, that children are ill less often, that their motor development is far, far better for being outdoors than indoors.
And a lot of teachers is, getting, yes, I can, it works. So I'm happy.
Wow.
I love that. I thought it was great.
That's awesome. Okay, so would you let the kids go there?
100%, I'd let them go.
Yeah. In Denmark.
It's probably okay. They said that there's one in the U.S. I don't know how many there are now, but I would have let them have gone. I would let them go now, and back then I think we would have let them go.
Yeah.
Because I hello, so. we have said so many. Well, we said a few stories of how we just let them go.
Yeah, I think so. I think if I would have known the benefits of it, well, what I'm trying to say is, I think if it was an option, we would have understood the benefits of it. Mm-hmm. So I probably would have said, okay, that's great. And, we just cross our fingers every day. They not one of the kids going to the hospital, but I think it's good though.
I mean, they can go to the hospital when they go play outside.
That's true.
So it can happen.
We made trips to the hospital and they weren't at a forest school. So
exactly. Yeah. Garrison, our oldest, he had broken bones and stuff, and he wasn't in any forced. He his first break was around 2, and it's because he slammed it into a safe in a hotel room.
Yeah,
and so they just whatever they hurt themselves all over the place.
That's true. I got scars too.
Yeah,
I got bad scars.
Right.
Well, there's no comments on this one.
Oh yeah, they turned them off.
And
I was going to say, we do see, as far as bringing the classroom outside, we see a lot of children out here.
A lot.
Always going to some field trip.
Yeah.
Way more than, I don't know if we just never noticed in the U.S., but they are always outside.
I think it's awesome. I think that, I just thought of this. In California, especially, there was always like 5th grade science camp. Remember?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Outdoor ed.
Yeah, it was outdoor ed. And it was where they went away for a week.
A weekend.
I think it might have been a week.
Was it a week?
I think it was a week. I think they go away for a week, or I don't know. But they go away, and for most of the kids, it's their first time being without their parents.
That's true.
And everybody always says that when they come back, they're like different. Mm-hmm. And we experienced it with 2 boys, and they were both different. Like that was the moment that they changed. So can you imagine if they were 5, 6 years old?
Yes, that's a foundation.
Yeah, it's that foundation of independence, all kind of stuff. Man, that is so great.
It's great.
Good job, Denmark.
Great. Yay!
All right. Well, I was about to say, let's see what the people got to say, but we can't see what the people have to say.
I don't know why they turned those off.
I don't know. It's okay.
Oh, you think people are like mad?
Probably.
Oh.
Is this bad?
I know.
What's happening? Did we do something wrong?
I wonder how people feel about this. I mean, we're like,
this is amazing.
But we're also Gen X, where we're like, we lived that childhood.
Yeah.
And so but I wonder, are the younger parents like,
yeah.
It's
okay. It's okay. That's one of the great things about this channel is that we learn different perspectives.
Yeah.
So someone may give us a perspective that we haven't even thought about, completely change our mind. And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I might have some life experience that says, oh, no, this is not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, that was great. What should I say? Okay. So if you want.
This is not my part.
Sorry.
I'm done.
Okay. All right. Wait. So if you want to support the channel, we have set up a Patreon. We have free options. We have paid options. And both of those options include a link to our Discord, which is It's just fun. You'll see when you go there. So if nothing else, go and get the free option so you can get that. And you can go over there and post pictures of your cats. And
we keep saying that. But there's all kinds like there's travel, there's books, there's recipes, there's just general where we all just talk about nothing.
Yeah.
Go in there and go to the introduction channel on the side. You'll see it. If you don't know anything about Patreon, go in there and just be like anywhere and say, I'm new here. I don't know what to do. Somebody will direct you.
That's true. And it is true. I keep saying about the cat. It's like, that's the only thing in there.
There's all kinds of stuff in there.
All right. Well, as always, thank you for stopping by, and we will see you on the next video.
Bye.
Peace.